potholes and bumps. If you hit it, you got to be careful. You guys seen a couple people today literally come off their seat about that high. Okay? Two things: be safe, have fun, and let's do this.
All right. Well, hello there in YouTube land, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're at Stubbs Suzuki, and we're at the demo day, and we're about to ride the 750, a classic GSX-R750. And I mean, it's a classic. It's a brand new bike, but it's been, well, they haven't changed it since 2012. And I think they haven't changed it a lot since it first came out in, I believe, 2005, maybe? I don't know.
I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me. Maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path. Not many can say that. I like to play fast. Cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at. And
classic motorcycle. It does have some electronics, but basically it doesn't have anything, right? So let's get on it and see how it's like to ride. Let's see if it's worth trading in the R7 for this one instead of a street triple. I don't know. So the first thing you notice is it's fairly short. Yeah, I can flat foot it. Like the feel of the tank, it's nice. The clip-ons, they look, I don't know, pretty premium. Oh, they're leaving without me. I don't know how to turn this thing on. There it is. Okay, same deal thing here. Alright, so little problems getting it into gear, but it does. I don't believe it does have the low. No, it does have the low RPM assist from. Okay, so the foot pegs are pretty high, and so the position of the feet is different from the R7, but I believe the handlebars are just as sporty. But this bike does feel a little bit more substantial because it's an inline 4, so that's going to be something that's going to be different. I was just checking to see if I am actually recording, and let's make sure that the camera has a good angle because this is a very sporty motorcycle. Hopefully that's a good angle for you guys. So far so good. It does feel like an older bike, but like every other Suzuki is good on the well, braking inertia. So the sound is also pretty cool because it's a 750. It has smaller cylinders than the 1000, so you will hear a higher pitch, but it does have a growl. What is this guy doing with that bike? And how come I'm on this side? I think I should be on the other side, but we'll figure all of that out. So right now I like the way how you engage, and it has to do with the low RPM assist. So when you have the friction zone here, it's different from my Suzuki, the GSX-R750, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it just moves without any effort, even though the clutch is a little bit on the hard side. So all of this thing, I hate this fake carbon fiber thing that they do on these older type bikes. I love the dash, the analog tachometer. This thing could be improved, but they're not going to change anything from this bike. As you can see, it feels like you're riding an older bike. Now the tank is pretty wide, so I don't think I like that that much because you don't feel in control of the bike. Oh man, but it feels like it wants to rev. It wants to go all the way. And then the seat is pretty wide or pretty long, so you can get on a tuck. So just like a super sport should be, you have that opportunity. So that's good. Now engaging neutral is pretty easy. And And the brakes also have very good feel. I think you can stop this bike with 2 fingers, but we'll figure it out. Now, before I continue talking about the bike, I do want to address some comments that I've been having on my reviews. And it's funny that BMW people, Harley people, they for some reason believe that their bikes are perfect, and they get upset about anything that I talk about that is negative. Hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you guys what I don't like. It doesn't have to mean, it doesn't mean that that your bike is not good. It just means it's not perfect, right? No bike is. Alright, so this one does not have a quick shifter. Everything is analog on that bike, so that's weird. I love the growl, because it reminds me of my Suzuki 750, but I think it sounds even better. I think it sounds louder, and I think it's the induction sound that comes in right here from underneath, so you can hear it, and I don't know, it just makes a lovely sound. What happened? Did I just stall this bike? Yes, I stalled the bike, making fun of everybody stalling the bike, and I go and do the same thing. I don't know what happened. Why did it stall? Because we were moving, so that was weird. Anyway, oops, I just passed somebody I shouldn't have passed. So not having a quick shifter is a bummer, and I think now once you get used to having a quick shifter, it is a deal breaker. I don't know if you can get one, but if you do, this bike does not have a ride-by-wire, so you won't be able to actually get it with a blipper for downshifts. So other than that, I think this bike is a perfect bike for anybody who can't afford a super bike. Right? You want a liter bike, you can't afford it, this is the bike you should have, because it's an awesome bike. It's gonna be fast enough on the street than anything else except a liter bike, right? But from 0 to 100 is gonna be as fast as a 1000. What are they yelling at? All right, let's go. So yeah, this is the pretty lame demo ride because we go 40 miles an hour tops on these bumpy roads, which is not good. Now this bike, I'm trying to get the feel for it. It does feel heavy. So it is what it is. I mean, it's a good bike. It's not going to be perfect because it's old as fuck. And we all know that fucking is old. So it's been a while since they did anything on this bike, and you can feel it. I mean, it's not a bad bike, it's a great bike, but there's nothing on this bike that is telling me, yeah, you should go for this bike, put it on the list. No, this is just a bike. If you can't afford a super bike, then go for this bike. But I do believe I would have more fun on a street triple than I would on this thing. But I don't know, I'm talking out of my ass because, well, we've only ridden it at 40 miles per hour, so there's nothing really we can talk about, except that it does feel a little bit heavy. Jesus Christ, you can't really go fast on these freaking roads, man. But do get a feel for what it's like to ride this bike on a day-to-day. And yeah, I like it. I don't love it. So whoever has a 750 Suzuki GSX-R, I know I'm gonna get some hate comments, right? Hey, it's a perfect bike. You have nothing. Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. It's a good bike. I already said that, but it's not perfect. And I don't know.
Do you know anything?
There's nothing in this bike that would make me want to put it on the list, right? Except the price, maybe. But but it's not as affordable, right? I mean, for what it is, as old as it is, it's not as affordable as it should be. This one should have the price of the 600. The 600 should have the price of my R7. Because every other bike, every other super sport, well, they're doing it differently, but they're adding stuff, right? Man, this is terrible. This is a terrible road, and the suspension is too sporty for this type of riding. So for a daily commuter, this bike would not be good. Unless you have some twists on the way to work and on the way back. Because otherwise, for a road like this is the worst bike I think you can be on. Because it's uncomfortable, and then the suspension is not bad, right, for the street, but it's still a sport bike type of suspension. So this bike and this suspension is going to be better, obviously, when you're giving this bike the beans and the twisties, not for this type of road. And then the throttle response is very snatchy also for that type of condition. So you want to go faster, and that way the suspension is going to handle these bumps a lot better. Yeah, you see, you just go a little bit above 40, and the suspension, it makes, I mean, a better deal of handling these bumps. Now the brakes are also, well, they're Suzuki brakes, man. They're squishy, and they don't have a lot of feel. You could stop it with 2 fingers, but I wouldn't recommend it. You would have to go with 3 or maybe your full hand. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with this bike, but there's nothing great with it either. Everything is good. Or maybe I'm being a little bit hard on it. Maybe it is great, but not exceptionally great, right? It's not like, I wouldn't trade my R7 for this one and pay more. If I would get a deal where I would pay the same amount of money for this bike than my R7, then yeah, this is a much better bike than my R7. A much better bike. It's a lot more substantial, it's faster, it's I think more comfortable. But I already got used to the R7, the way it feels, the way it handles. I feel a lot more comfortable than I am on this thing. But maybe once you get used to it, so yeah. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying R7 is better than this thing, because it's not by a long shot, but for the price, I would stick with my R7 for now. And the Street Triple, I think, feels a lot better and more fun than this bike. This bike feels heavy, feels old. I mean, it's fun. It's still fun. I mean, yeah, you'll have a lot of fun in this thing. And I'm pretty sure it's going to keep up with the super bikes until 120 maybe. Maybe 130. Because this bike has a top speed of, I believe, 170 miles an hour. So it's fast. And it does have a 0 to 60 time of around 3.2 seconds. Not as fast as the Naked one, because the Naked one is tuned for that, basically. I love the sound. The sound maybe is what puts this bike on the list. Well, I forgot that this freeway doesn't have a lane so you can get in. You have to go and get in front of the cars, but it was still fun. Now, I didn't feel this bike as fast when I accelerated a little bit, but it's because you have to rev it a lot more, because it redlines all the way to 14,000, so you have to rev it a lot more in order for you to actually feel how fast it is. But I mean, even from down low, it doesn't feel slow. like a couple of weeks ago we were riding that Ninja 400 CX-R750. It feels like a turtle down low. This one, I mean, it feels great even from down low. But yeah, unfortunately this type of demo doesn't do any justice for this bike. But for now, unless we get an opportunity to ride it with some power and some twisties or some, I don't know, some performance-wise tests on this bike, for now, it's coming off the list. I like it. I don't love it. I never loved the look of it. I think it looks good, but it doesn't, I mean, it's not like an R6 there. You see it and man, it's the sexiest thing ever. This is nice. It's good. But everything about it is just, I mean, when I had the 750, the naked one, my first Suzuki, I love that bike, but I love the look of it. This one, not really. And I was expecting a little bit more, because I think I like my 750 naked one better than I do this one. Just not performance wise, because this one is gonna blow that one out of the water, but I'm talking about character wise. Character wise, this bike does not do it for me. I don't know. Maybe I just spent too much waiting for this ride and I'm a little disappointed. Well, that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to, if you liked the video, to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell button, and share it with all your friends. If you don't like the video, well, share it with all your enemies. And I'll see you guys on the next one.